Hello everyone, it's First Alert meteorologist Alexa Minton. I'm here as well as the rest of our team is in doing our part to track these active storms. I know a lot of folks are nervous. We aren't at the end of that weather event. You all know how I rule these Facebook Lives. I got the comment section open, so if you do have a question, go ahead, throw it in there. I'll do my best to make sure I answer your question about your location. But there's a lot to talk about. We'll be all in again for some of our evening newscasts, as a lot of folks are seeing some active rain. I'm seeing someone say stop the rain. Teresa, I wish I could. I wish I could. I know it's really not helping a lot of areas for our region. So make sure you're staying weather aware. Let's dive into our forecast as we head through the rest of our Saturday into Sunday. I want to give you guys a couple looks at our live cams at the moment to start off. You can see downtown Lexington, we've got some widespread rain through our region, but it's not just in Lexington. Bowling Green area has seen some rounds of heavy rainfall after they got hit with severe weather throughout parts of earlier this week. I mean, we've been active since Wednesday night, really, for our area. Here's a look at Elizabethtown. You can see all that pooling water in some sides of the median, even the flooding that's happening just off the highway. They're one of the areas that's gotten a lot of activity for our region. Definitely a very busy forecast for our friends in Western Kentucky. Georgetown has seen a lot of their own flooding. I saw some photos on the Georgetown Police Department website where they were sending us drone images of concerns off some side roads. So make sure you're taking things slow for our day. Just because we got that break yesterday does not mean we're fully in the clear. I'm going to answer two of the questions I see right now. Letcher County, y'all got added to that flood watch through Sunday. You don't have any active flood warnings out, but you were added to the flood watch that lasts through Sunday. Aerial means like a drone, an overhead look of the area. And then we also saw London. Your guys are a little bit different of a concern. I'll get there in a second. Don't worry, Angel. I'm going to circle back around towards our area for our threat. So let's go ahead and talk specifically about what's happening. WKYT Tower Cam, a lot of rain. If you don't have rain, you've got some of those low-hanging clouds for it's like right after rain. It's when those clouds are still trying to rain, but it goes just down to the surface. It's called Virgo, where rain doesn't reach the ground all the way for our region. Here's a look at those active flood warnings. A lot more in Western Kentucky than there are in Central Kentucky right now. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple flash flood warnings go into effect with this next band of storms that's coming in later tonight. One thing I do want to point out, y'all, you can see the ones that are north of Madison County stretching down and around parts of Jessamine County, Garrett County, Woodford County, Anderson, Boyle. Y'all, that's the Kentucky River. We want to watch out for the river flooding. Some of those river flood forecasts don't have rivers reaching their crest, that peak, until Sunday afternoon. So it'll be important that you watch out as we continue to see those flood warnings in effect. I wanted to give us a live look at that radar across the state. Some heavier storms are just making their way across Danville at the moment, headed in towards Madison County. Someone had asked earlier about London and Laurel County areas. That's actually one of the kind of anomalies we have with this. Southern and eastern Kentucky haven't been seeing as much rain, nearly as much rain as some of those central and western Kentucky counties. Now, they still are under that flood watch for our area, so you're still going to want to make sure that you're weather aware for our region. There's a lot of flood warnings for our friends out in Illinois and parts of southern Indiana. I'm seeing someone say something about a mandatory evacuation in Falmouth. So make sure you guys are ready to seek higher ground. Glenda, I don't know if Lexington's going to get hit with a tornado, but let's talk about that severe threat. Here's a look at the Lexington, Fayette County metro area. Like I said, some heavier storms are starting to rumble through. The good news is the rain we saw scattered in the overnight, scattered to start off our day, is doing its part to try and stabilize our atmosphere. So that's why we're not seeing anything too active, that severe, the convective threat. Convective basically means we've got some lift happening for our region. It's still heavy though, again, just south of Danville, making its way into parts of Garrett County. Frankfort really can't take any more rain, and they've got some heavy rain rumbling through Lexington. It's on the west side of Fayette County. Winchester's seen some active rain as well. I wanted to jump down specifically and show some of our friends. Again, it's kind of like Anderson, Boyle, parts of Rockcastle, Casey County, Garrett County. Y'all have seen a lot of activity for our area. Someone said there was a building floating down the river in Frankfort. We have gotten so much rain. Our concern is not shifting towards that severe activity, but it's more so that severe activity has the potential to do a little bit more damage. One more live look at our radar, but let's jump in and talk about those flood watches and warnings. So someone was asking me about Letcher County earlier. Y'all have not gotten that much rain, but this last system that's rolling through tonight into tomorrow could do some damage. Here's a look at some of those radar indicated estimates for our total rainfall. 6 inches over near Powell County, Estill County. I know Clay City was basically underground. I was on the phone with the judge executive earlier today. He said it's underwater, a lot of water's rushing all over. There's a lot of trees down in Red River Gorge area, so make sure you're taking things extra slow if you are headed through Powell County. Over in Woodford County, that's where we have Alyssa Williams right now. She's talking to emergency management directors. City of Versailles has seen their water system fail. It's causing some issues. So they have a couple of requests for you all. If you live in Woodford County or Versailles, they're getting close to 6.8, maybe even 7 inches already from this whole system. But it's Western Kentucky's that's been hit the hardest. Bowling Green already around 8.5. Elizabethtown, 10.8. There's some areas that are locally higher. I was looking at a few reports. They're saying maybe 15 inches. If y'all have a moment, look at Hopkinsville and Paducah online. Some of those pictures and images that we're seeing from them, it's really intense for that area. So this flood watch was originally only in effect for central, south central, and western Kentucky. But y'all saw my friend who was asking about Letcher County in the comments. Letcher, Harlan, Bell, Perry, Pike County, Floyd County, added into the mix. All those far eastern Kentucky counties have been added into the mix. Again, this flood watch is going to last through Sunday, but we have those two separate areas, right? Flood warnings mean the flooding is happening now. Flood watch means you have all of the right conditions to maybe see flooding in your area. As soon as that warning goes into effect, that means it is here. The flooding is happening for our area. If you ever get confused, I see oftentimes the difference between watch and a warning compared to kind of tacos. When you have all the ingredients laid out, it's not put together, but you are ready to see it happen. And then when the taco is put together, that's your warning. That's when it's going to happen for our area. So just thought that might help for someone who's trying to visualize the difference between flood warning, flood watch, and then you get the flash flood warnings. Those are from those heavy rounds of rainfall. Stretching across most of the eastern half of the United States. We're sending a lot of thoughts and prayers towards our friends in Arkansas, West Tennessee, Southeast Missouri, Southern Illinois, Southern Indiana. There's just been some really devastating images we've seen for that entire area. And that flood watch stretches through almost, I would say almost much of the eastern half of the United States. A lot more than I've ever seen in my time focusing on meteorology. You can see severe thunderstorm warnings have now been issued for parts of Arkansas, Louisiana. It's all part of that same rain band. Those green boxes you see, that's your flash flood warnings for our area. Not made it all the way towards central and eastern Kentucky yet, but it's already active in western Kentucky. So here's some important points we want everyone to focus on throughout the day. Major flooding is our #1 threat. We're talking about maybe picking up 2 to 6 more inches of rain as we go through Sunday. That's a lot more rain. Our ground is already waterlogged and saturated. We can't really pick up much more than that. We do have a severe chance later for our day today. That's what we're a little bit worried about because our ground is so waterlogged and saturated. There's not a lot. It's soft. It's kind of weak. The trees aren't going to have a very good grip, I guess, on the ground. So it's not going to take too strong of a wind gust to maybe knock something over and cause some problems. Here's a look at the hour-by-hour forecast. Strong storms expected to push into our area as we head towards the middle of the afternoon. I'm talking mainly towards central Kentucky, stretching over Montgomery, Bath, Madison, Garrett, Anderson County. We're looking up towards Nicholas, Harrison, Bourbon County, all the way up towards Maysville. You can see it's locally heavy rains, starts to lose some steam once they push over I-75, but you can see there's a few cells like Moorhead, Rowan County. It pops back up as it comes over to you towards the 3 o'clock hour. Southern and eastern Kentucky, this is why we're concerned for y'all. Look at those temperatures. 81 in Harlan, 79 in Williamsburg, 72 in London. The sunshine and the warmth, I know it feels good. It's just kind of destabilizing our atmosphere. It basically is making the perfect environment for you to maybe see a pop-up thunderstorm. So you still need to be on alert for your day today. 5:30, we start to see rain really turn more widespread, pushing back in. That heavy rain, that severe threat starts to encroach on us. It's going to come in late, y'all. It's never one of those overnight storms that's slowly pushing into our area. mainly 9 p.m. on for our region for that severe threat for our area. Heavy rain all throughout our skies in the overnight. That even persists towards Sunday, 8 a.m. Part of the reason I think those eastern Kentucky counties were added into that flood watch is because of this activity that's pushing in at around 8 a.m. But look at those temperatures, how quick we're dropping. By 8 a.m. on Sunday, you're now 46 in Cynthiana, 47 Frankfort, 49 Danville. Lot chillier because that cold front is pushing in and moving that rain out. I know we don't want the cold, but trust me, it's going to be helping us out a little bit. 12 o'clock, you get a brief break for some counties. Still a lot of cloud cover. Another few scattered showers as we head towards Sunday at 5 p.m. Those temperatures looking a lot different for our area by the time we jump and get a look at 11 o'clock at night, and those skies are really calming down. In fact, our friends in Ohio have a snow chance for their region. We're more so focused on, look at that, 36 Lexington, 39 Richmond. We'll drop down to 48 in Hazard. That's a big temperature change, everyone, in a short period of time. Wouldn't be surprised if a few people have some headaches tomorrow as all that's going through, if you don't already have a headache from all this excess flooding we've seen in our area. Now, this is our severe risk for the day. That line of storms that's coming in late tonight, y'all. It's a slight or level 2 risk, but I know a lot of you in the comments know just because it says slight, just because it's a level 2 risk doesn't mean we're not going to see activity. We've seen a lot of activity from slight risks over the past couple days, and it stretches right along with that rain band. A lot of those weather discussions you'll find online are specifically mentioning the line between Bowling Green up through Lexington to Moorhead, Ashland. That's where you're getting the heavy rain, and that's also where we're going to see that slight risk. Main focus, damaging winds. It's currently looking like our system's kind of losing some steam when it comes to seeing that hail. The more rain we get now, the less likely we are to see hail later. High winds are the main concern. You could have an isolated low-end tornado risk. There is one out for this severe system. Flooding, obviously, is everyone's priority as this system pushes through, specifically flash flooding. It's going to put down a lot of rain in a short period of time, folks. So here's a look at one of our rainfall forecasts that I'm talking about now through Sunday for our area. I mean, we've already reached a lot of rainfall in a lot of these regions, and now we're talking about having this get towards maybe 4.2 inches in Lawrenceburg, close to 2.5, maybe 2 3/4 in Madison County. We don't need any more rain. We're already kind of at our limit for our region. I'm seeing someone saying it's coming down in Stanford and Crab Orchard right now. Y'all, make sure you have an emergency go kit. Make sure you have a plan if you are in a low-lying area near a creek, a stream. A lot of the forks and branches from the Kentucky River have seen really high waters. And that's why we also want to talk about the delays that are coming later for this region. I mean, when you look at river flooding, that's going to come on Sunday. So even after that rain starts to stop, Sunday afternoon is when we're worried about that river flooding. So I think I've hopefully answered a lot of folks' questions throughout the area. I'm seeing a lot of people say, hey, at least we're not having the snow. We all need to say we're grateful. We're here. We actually just got word before I came in here. I was talking with one of our web gals that there was a flood death in Nelson County. So we had one yesterday in Franklin County with that child who got swept away by floodwaters, and we're seeing another death that was just officially reported in Nelson County. So stay safe, turn around, don't drown. I know we sound like broken records when we say that, but please, it's really important. Floodwaters are fast. It only takes 6 inches of rain to move your car, and we already got more than 6 inches of rain in some places. And watch out for that severe threat later tonight. I know the one we had Sunday into Monday didn't seem like it caused a lot of damage in our area, but think about all the rainfall we've gotten. Our ground's wet, it's soft, it's moist. The tree's not gonna have a lot to grab onto before it gets blown over. We've already seen some trees down in Red River Gorge area on the sky lift. It's actually closed until further notice. So I'm seeing folks saying, I wanna make sure I answer all questions. Likely to see tornadoes in this or mainly high winds? I'm saying mainly high winds right now, but we've seen a lot of rotating severe thunderstorm cells. So just make sure you've got multiple systems of weather alerts. That's so important because we were also just seeing online, Evansville, Indiana had some of their NOAA weather radios that went out, and they're clearly in the main area right now for concern. So make sure you got multiple systems alerts. We've got our WKYT alerts on our weather app. You guys can follow Jim, Chris, myself, Ben. We're all making sure we monitor the system as much as we can. We've got a full team in. We're actually going to jump on a call for like our whole newsroom here about 15 minutes or so to talk about how we can best make sure everyone's staying safe. As always, reach out to us if you have any damage that you want to share, anything you want to report. All of our emails are on the website. For right now, have your go bag, Stay safe, multiple systems of weather alerts, and just remember, we got to make it through Sunday night before we're officially in the clear. Even if it's stopped raining for your area, got to make it through Sunday night before we're officially out of this major flooding threat of a weekend. But stay safe, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. Keep with us.